5 True Disturbing Stories from Hospital Workers. In a place where people shuffle off the mortal coil on a daily basis, it's hardly surprising that most hospitals are overflowing with ghost stories, where life and death are just part of the job. Nurses from around the world have been sharing their most terrifying true accounts of supernatural encounters. Prepare yourself for tales of haunted hospital wards, ghostly apparitions, and even the occasional visit from the Grim Reaper himself. As the following blood-curdling stories go to show, you just don't need healing hands to work in a hospital. You also need nerves of steel. Send in your own scary, horror, or creepy stories that you want us to feature to nightmarestorieschannel@gmail.com. Number 1. This near-death experience. I'm an ER nurse. I had an old lady come in by ambulance, near death. She was a DNR, so we weren't going to do much for her. She didn't have any family that we could find. The hospital was full, so we had to keep her in the ER for the night. Again, she was near death. When we've seen enough people die, there's no mistaking it, and she was almost there. Barely responsive, pale, cool, breaths were really irregular. Heart rate was up and down too. We just turned the lights down and kept an eye on her monitor, basically waiting for her to die. About an hour later, she's standing at the door of her room. She'd gotten up and put on all her clothes. We were like, WTF? One of the nurses went to check on her and she said she was hungry. Not knowing really what to make of things, we got her a chair, a bedside table, and went to the cafeteria and got her a tray of food. The lady sat there, ate all her food, talked with the staff a little. After about an hour, she told her nurse that she was tired and wanted to lie back down. We helped her back into bed, and within 30 minutes, she was dead. Not exactly paranormal, but in 22 years in busy-ass inner-city ERs, it's the weirdest thing I've seen. Anonymous. Number 2. And this one. When I was a student, I got called in on a stroke patient. She had coded, and they were doing CPR. They worked for 45 minutes, but she died. They cleaned her up and called on the family to say goodbye. By the time the family left, she had been both brain dead and without a pulse for more than 45 minutes. Blood had filled her brain, and she was completely gray and started to smell. Suddenly, she sat up and called for her family. The nurses rushed to get monitors and equipment back on her. Started working on her again. She stabilized, said goodbye to her family, and promptly died a second time. Number 3. This man in black. Used to work in a skilled nursing facility. I was usually assigned to the Alzheimer's ward. One night, I'm in the linen room stocking my cart, and I heard someone shuffle up behind me. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned around, and there was no one else in the room. The door was still shut too. Another lady started to complain that a man was coming into her room at night. Again, Alzheimer's, so I didn't think much of it. So, to reassure her, I told her I'd check on her throughout the night. She complained of this man every night for 2 more weeks. When I asked her to describe him to me, he's real handsome and wears a black suit. Oh, he's right behind you now, honey. That freaked me the fuck out. Of course, there was no one behind me. She died the next night in her sleep. Number 4. These hallucinations. LPN here. I work in a long-term care currently. A lot of palliative residents always claim to hallucinate either small dogs or children eating ice cream before they die. It's always facility-specific too. At one facility I worked at, I've had about 6 to 7 residents claim to see a little girl eating ice cream. Then they die that night. I'm going to find that little shit. She's causing me so much paperwork. Number 5. And these ones. About 2 years ago, we treated patients during a fungal meningitis outbreak. Our acute care floor had a census of 20. During this, at least 10 to 15 were meningitis patients, age ranging from 20s to 90s. There are no shared rooms, and all the patients were in isolation, no contact with one another. Many of them had the same hallucinations. Children in the corners of their rooms and auditory hallucinations of religious music. I had bacterial meningitis and had similar hallucinations. Kids' voices talking to me. People walking around my room, staring at me, like I was naked in a train station. My dad later assured me he was the only one there. It continued randomly for a few weeks after I left the hospital. I put it down to all the drugs they were giving me, but it seriously fucked me up for a while. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share the video, and turn on post notifications to see more of our future videos. With that said, keep enjoying our videos, and I'll see you in the next video.